Hi, my name is Tiffany Witherspoon, and I'm Director of Continuing Education and Communications for the College of Optometry, Western University.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tiffenie Harris. I'm an Associate Professor and Assistant Dean of Clinical Education at Western University.
In celebration of Black History Month, I'd love to ask you a few questions.
Excellent.
Number one, what drew you to become an optometrist?
Oh, I wanted to be an optometrist ever since I was a young girl. I didn't know it was an optometrist. I just wanted to be an eye doctor. My mom had glaucoma, and everywhere she went, I went, whether it was shopping or otherwise. So every time she went to the eye doctor, I was her tag along. So I was quite interested in that. And as I got older into high school and was doing really well in high school, my advisor said, you should be a doctor. And I automatically knew it would be an eye doctor. And then when I learned the difference between optometry and ophthalmology while I was in undergrad, I pursued optometry because I like the primary care aspect, that first touch point with the patient aspect, and I still get to treat glaucoma.
Mm-hmm. Now, how long have you been a licensed optometrist?
I graduated and have been licensed since 1993.
That could be a touchy subject sometimes.
I know, right?
What in your family structure influenced you or drove you into the medical field?
Oh, wow, into the medical field. I would have to say I grew up in Detroit and I was raised by parents that had not gone to college. So my aunt, who was also my godmother, she was an educator. She became a teacher, got her PhD, and went on to retire as a deputy superintendent. So I just knew I wanted to be a doctor, and I had her pushing me and forging me along to do well in school. And so what made me go into healthcare, I don't have anyone in my family that pushed me along the lines of healthcare, but I did have family members that said, you're going to college. It wasn't an option, right? You're going to college, you just don't have that option. And so great like a mentor. And wow, that's a great question. I like that. But no, I don't have anyone in my family that was in healthcare. I was the first.
Have you had any mentors or role models, and how has that shaped you? And do you see yourself as a mentor?
Yes. In fact, I just had 2 meetings this morning with students that I was meeting and advised. But young, like I said, it was my godmother. She definitely instilled that work ethic. My parents did too. They most certainly did. Nothing was actually just given. You worked for whatever. And as far as a mentor along the way in school, I met Dr. Edwin Marshall, who was an excellent mentor through optometry school. In fact, he was the one that planted the seed I should go into academia by my 4th year. So I had Dr. Marshall, Dr. Meets at Indiana was another great mentor and advisor while I was in optometry school. So for me, I believe we lead by example. So if I make myself available to students to let them know I genuinely care, I'm here to listen. I may not have all the answers to solve all your problems, but I am always willing to sit and listen and meet and talk to students from pre-optometry on. In fact, one of the students I was advising this morning is actually a pre-optometry student. So
you already know you're a mentor and that you work with SHPEP.
Yeah, SHPEP. So the Summer Health Professions Enrichment Program is designed to provide an opportunity for socially economic disadvantaged students, minority students, to gain exposure into the healthcare profession. And like I said, though, the one I was meeting with this morning was a former SHPEP student, and the other students I had this morning were my optometry students.
I think that may lead into the next question that we have. So why do you think there's a lack of Black minorities in optometry?
Oh, I have lots of thoughts on that. Okay, so remember I said in high school, I was told, you're so bright. You're really smart. You're catching on really quickly. I was very fortunate to have a calculus and a chemistry teacher who forged me to consider push yourself, go to the next level, go to college and, you should become a doctor. But what happens a lot of time is when they say you should become a doctor, they mean medical doctor, physician. And if it is a medical doctor or physician, it's dentistry, right? So a lot of times students are geared into that arm of the health profession. I don't think there's enough of us, for one, right? If you say that the population is 13% African American, there's just not enough Black optometrists to be the face, if you will, to show that if I can do it, you can do it too. And because it's a small percentage, that when young people are pushed into or encouraged to go into medicine, it's usually medicine, right? It's usually some sort of allopathic, osteopathic medicine, dentistry. And so getting into the high school level, so when I was in Detroit, I would go to my former high school on career day and try to encourage the students to consider optometry. So that's my take. I think advising the next generation of students to consider optometry is a grassroots effort. It's getting into that high school level, that undergrad, go to the undergraduate healthcare fairs, which I've done. Yeah, I've done that. I've gone to Spelman would have this in Atlanta, like it'd be Spelman, Clark, Atlanta, and I think it's Morehouse. And just getting out there. But there's a lot of movement in this, and I think great strides are ahead of us. So yeah.
The last question I have for you is, if you could advise the next generation of Black students looking to become optometrists today, what would you say?
I would say stay with the plan. I would say create a plan of action and then put your action to work and make it happen. Now, the road there may not be smooth, it may not be without its bumps. Just ride the wave and keep pushing forward. And it doesn't matter how long it takes to get there, just get there. Because I think what happens a lot of times is for us, it's the how do I pay for school and I got to work and keep going. Just keep going. Don't give up and don't let anyone ever tell you you can't do it, because you can. You can. Don't let anyone discourage you that you can't do it, because you can. Don't let anyone say when you have one glitch along the way that you can't do it, because you can. So that's just, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. For sure. So that would be my advice. Stay the course and don't give up. Stay focused. I think that was more than one answer though, huh?
Those were all great answers.
Okay.
Definitely great advice.
Well, thank you for this opportunity to speak with you, particularly with it being Black History Month and everything. I think it's a fabulous idea and I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And thank you so much for all of the great advice and information that you provided.
I wish we had more time. I really
know.
This is really great, but I
set up more like a coffee hour or something.
Yeah.